I want to just come on here and do this impromptu video concerning around the Aaron Rodgers situation. Now, I did talk about it in one of my recent live streams, in which I was saying how that Aaron Rodgers was not honest and upfront about the scene situation and him taking it. And, his words were he was immunized, but, that was a lie and all types of things like that. And I was saying how Kyrie Irving got the brute force thrown at him for being honest. He said he didn't take the scene and that's what it was, but everyone came down hard on him, especially Stephen A for Asshole Smith and all the others who think just like him, who just couldn't wait to dump on a black man, especially another black athlete, as usual. But when it came to Aaron Rodgers and when he got exposed, it was like people talked about it, but not with the same tone in which Kyrie Irving ended up facing. Now, I talked about that in the live stream, but I wanted to go a little bit further into that based on a tweet that I posted a few days ago around this situation. In so many words, it's just amazing to me that, or how much America, or American society, loves liars. I think it's probably more liars living in America than truth tellers, to be quite honest. I'm just being completely honest, whether they're in lamestream media or they are not in lamestream media. I think people not only lie a lot, but I think some of them lie so much that they actually start to believe their own lies as truth. And some people know when they're lying, but they don't want to call them out on it because they'll accept it as truth because of who it is. I actually saw, and I kid you not, I saw somebody in a back and forth, I forgot what social media platform it was, about the Aaron Rodgers situation, and they were just saying and toward the end of their little rant, they said all he did was lie. When I looked at that, I said, wait a minute, that's your conclusion, was all that he did was lie? Yeah, what he did was lying, but look at what he lied about. And you're trying to make it seem like he just lied about something so small that we'll just forget about it in the next breath. This guy sat up there and lied about taking the scene when he know he was supposed to and being eligible to play. And then he ended up catching Woovid. In case y'all didn't know, Aaron Rodgers ended up catching Woovid. He caught it. Then he got onto a platform in which he was interviewed about it, and then tried to throw out the typical MLK shield that PC loves to do and further bastardize this man's image. This man has been dead since the 60s, and they still to this day bastardize his words and his image to protect and shield them from wrongdoing. Like, they are not holding Aaron Rodgers' feet to the fire like they did Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie Irving was more upfront and honest about his situation. He said, look, I didn't take it. He flat out said he didn't take it. And people got mad at him because he was honest. But they want to give Aaron Rodgers a coddling or a pat on the back or a pass altogether for lying. And of course, the default setting is because he's a PC man. They try to make it seem like him lying was no big deal. Especially lying about the situation he's in. Like I said, this was not a small little lie that you'll forget about tomorrow or in the next 10 minutes. And he concocted this lie months ago. This wasn't even recent. It's just that it recently came out that he never took the scene. So imagine everybody who plays for Green Bay took it and he's the only one that did it. Mind you, he's the quarterback, which means he is the face of the team. And not only that, Aaron Rodgers is a franchise player, so people know who he is, whether he was the quarterback or not. No matter what team he goes to, people are going to know that name, Aaron Rodgers. But not only did he lie, but when he got up there and did that interview and threw out the MLK thing, he still ducked and dodged and deflected around the thing. Dude, just own up to it and say that you lied. That's why I hated when Kellyanne Conrad, when she was with the Trump administration talking about alternative facts. You mean lies, right? Like I said, I just have a feeling that many people in America just have the incapability of telling the truth, that they'll even bastardize the word lie in order to make it seem like it's a good thing, or at least somewhat of a good thing. Like they are actually making an excuse or excuses to let this man just kind of slide right out of the way. And then you saw when Jay Williams confronted Stephen A. for asshole Smith about it, he talked about it in a calm tone, and then as soon as he got enraged with how Jay Williams was checking him, he goes into his usual minstrel rants and carried it back to black NBA players. He brought up Kyrie Irving, he brought up James Harden, and he brought up Kevin Durant. What did they have to do with Aaron Rodgers lying? He can't help himself. I cannot stand him. I can't wait for someone to peel that wig back, further back than what it is. I swear, you know how Pinocchio, every time Pinocchio tells a lie, his nose gets longer? I swear, every time Stephen A. for asshole Smith goes in on black men, like black athletes, his hairline recedes even further back down his spine, or should I say lack of it, because that man doesn't have a spine. He has a jelly back. I don't know how people can stand to even listen to this man talk. And let's not forget that Stephen A. went to CNN to talk to Donna, of all people, carrying his minstrel rants from ESPN to CNN about Kyrie Irving. That's where Jay Williams was able to pull those receipts from, was when he was talking about, that's what he was talking about when he went to talk to Donna and yell over at CNN about Kyrie Irving. That guy is a whole cornball. He is a slimy, deceptive snake. And I cannot wait for him to get his moment. I know I'm supposed to be talking about Aaron Rodgers, but I can't help but just go in on Stephen A. because he's connected to this and has been. He always gives these white players the benefit of the doubt every single time. He did not have the same vitriol for Aaron Rodgers. And when he tried to do it, it was very forced. And the only reason he did is because Jay Williams called him out on his BS. But the minute that he found an opening, he reverted right back to talking about the black players. He cannot help himself. Ever since he got into it with Michelle Beadle and ESPN had to pull him to the side and he had to take that little break, he came back and he shined off them tap shoes. He he drenched them biscuits in butter and cut the jigaboo jig harder than anyone ever could over at ESPN. And that Michelle Beadle situation, how many years ago was that? That was a while ago now. Because I think Stephen A., he gets paid like $12 million a year. And that's not me pocket watching because it's public knowledge. So he's going to do what he can to maintain that 12 mil a year. But he goes overboard with it. And he swears up and down that he's being fair. He's not being fair. And the reason why I'm going in on Stephen A., even though it's really supposed to be about Aaron Rodgers, because he's part of the problem of letting people like Aaron Rodgers slide with telling lies. And I had put it on Twitter this as well. I said Kyrie Irving in this instance, and probably even more than this instance, is more of a man than Aaron Rodgers ever could be. Just on the fact that he stood on his square and his principles and said, look, I did not take the scene. I didn't take it. At least I'm upfront. At least I'm honest. Y'all being mad at me because I'm being truthful and standing firm on my square about mine of being a man. But y'all want to coddle the liar. That's why I said America loves the cap. They really do. But it couldn't be a corporation or an establishment, as I like to call it, without loving the cap. Loving the lie. Being in love and lust with the lie. It's crazy when you really think about it. They let in Aaron Rodgers slide, literally skate away from this. I mean, they putting a kind of a pressure on him now, but you know, it's for optics purposes. How much you want to bet that this won't even be a story within the next month? Now, one thing I did hear is that Aaron Rodgers did lose an endorsement. I'm not sure what endorsement it was, but I did hear that he lost one endorsement. So somebody out there doesn't like what he did. And see, once you start hurting them pockets, then that's when people start to get with the program. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to come on here and say. Like I said, this was an impromptu video. There's no article to be read behind this. It's just me expressing how I feel even further about the situation, and not just on Aaron Rodgers and Stephen A. Smith, but America as a whole, literally allowing people to slide with telling lies when they feel like it. Because, man, if y'all could see the comments that I saw under some of these threads trying to defend Aaron Rodgers lying while still at the same time trying to call Kyrie out. Because here's the thing, they kept talking. It got so bad for them that they had to revert back to when Kyrie Irving was talking about that flat earth thing. That's what they had to revert back to. See, what they tried to do was say that when Kyrie Irving was on that tip, that he was crazy and, you know, mentally something is wrong with him and everything like that. It is what it is. You can feel how you feel about that. But we're not talking about that. So they were using a situation or an episode that Kyrie Irving was dealing with a couple years ago to try to justify Aaron Rodgers lying this year about something way massive than whatever it is Kyrie Irving was talking about. Because what Kyrie Irving was talking about, that didn't have a virus attached to it. It didn't have something attached to it that can get someone sick or worse, die. But this guy lied and could have put other people's lives in risk. So he was playing football. He was playing the sport that he's hired to play, knowing all this time he never took it. The rest of his team did. And then you have some of them idiots on his team trying to back him up and defend him and everything. Like, listen, they only saying that because they need him to play so they can win games. If he was a weak player, they would have threw him under the bus. But because they need the support, they gonna go out there and support him, even through all of his lies. I'm like, okay, it is what it is. But like I said, he didn't have to lie. He could have just said, look, I didn't take it and everything like that, and it is what it is. But he said, I've been immunized. When he said that, I said, no, something don't seem right. Because who just comes out and just says that I'm immunized? Who says that? But that's what, now I'm pretty much done with what I had to say. I had to throw that little last piece in there. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments.